All right, welcome back.
Hey.
It's us, your parents.
We have a lot to talk about.
We're very disappointed in you.
Very. I can't believe you did that thing last night. How could you?
Oh my goodness.
You're like a Swiss Army knife, just pointy
with
things.
A bee. I want
so cute.
I want a multi-tool like that just has like a bee.
And a cactus just rolling out.
A cactus, a bee, a nail. Everything you realistically need. Oh, I remember which power I need.
What is that? No,
it's electricity.
No,
it's what electricity looks like.
Like what? It's
have
like
you ever?
It's like a little goopy thing with eyes, and it touches itself.
Have you never used a magnifying glass to look at electricity before?
You're right. Oh my god, what is that?
Like
I don't understand how that power works. Why?
Yeah, this is one where they're like
tether.
Some of them make a lot of sense. Like the cutter fire, like oh yeah, fire sword, and then they're like electricity and a rock.
Someone that's just like, you know, I tether my rocks with electricity all the time. Like, yeah, sure, Tim. So why did you need the electricity rock?
Oh, I guess I should explain, because like I think the time that I needed a specific power, I didn't explain.
Oh god.
Oh no.
What's happening?
Did it freeze? Oh no. What the fuck? Apple software update.
No, dude. Please. No, just quit. Here. Go.
Okay.
Go. Press up.
Right on this, like, the timed sand level. Apple's like, hey, pay attention to me.
So, okay, so this is another thing that I'm talking about. Because in Donkey Kong, they have another level that's like this. But in Kirby, it's not really that big of a deal because you can fly.
Right, yeah.
So...
It doesn't...
Yeah. It's really interesting because I feel like the level designer is, like, designing it for someone who can't fly. And then when they made Kirby, they're just like, yeah, he has powers, he can fly, he can suck up stuff, spit them out.
This is like the opposite of the problem we were talking about, because we're discussing how some games feel like they came up with the mechanics first,
right,
and then they came up with the story. See, okay, so there you find things that have two different colors.
Oh, and then okay.
Yeah, and only that thing can break it.
Can you fly up there? Is there something back there?
Maybe, but yeah. So like some games, they feel off because it's like, oh, it feels like you just created this whole world around your character's ability to do this one thing.
Yeah.
Versus this feels like...
Have you ever tried to suck up the pigs, by the way? Sorry.
The pigs?
If you suck up the pigs, they have one eyeball and they get really upset.
Yeah. That happens here too.
Why?
Because they've been possessed by dark matter.
So, are they retconning everything that happened in the Game Boy game?
I don't know. Like, they're trying to explain... Was dark matter an enemy beforehand?
No.
The
dark matter only came up in Nightmare in Dreamland. But in the first game... Yeah, in the first game, that never happened.
Look at those pyramids in the back. I don't think they're supposed to do that.
Why do you keep on getting that? What is that?
It's a completionist thing. You collect like 100 of those.
You don't want to get one-ups?
Oh, I guess we do need them because we keep dying. But yeah, we're talking about how, you know, like, not to hate on everyone's hated on Mass Effect at this point. I can do it. You know, I'll jump on that bandwagon.
Well, I mean, I haven't really... Can I just have this for...
It's perpetual until it hits you. It doesn't hurt you.
Wait.
Oh, you do needle, needle electricity. You can, like, walk on... Okay, so get the needle and then go back and do that one. But anyway, as I was saying, lack of imagination. Mass Effect. All the characters are bipedal, 2 legs, 2 arms, gun-wielding, you know, humanoids, right? It's like they're more or less built like humans are. And I'm like, that's not... It's not creative. It's like in all of the huge universe, everyone ends up looking like humans, right? Yeah. That's not realistic. That's not how things would be. But yeah, so it felt like they came up with the idea of like, oh, an FPS, or is it first person? Whatever, a shooter in outer space. And then they came up with all the designs after that, right?
Yeah.
Versus you start with story material beforehand, like The Witcher, right? Where they have
Right.
established characters and things that go on, and then you build the game around it. And I feel like that made it so much better.
But then you have a race where they're just like, we're ooze monsters. We're also gunslingers, and you're just like, I keep on doing the wrong thing, and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like they couldn't have made them have different abilities.
Yeah, 'cause
like gun. Your power is gun.
if they're slime people, why would they even develop guns? How would they even know what a gun is? Or just
Right.
like, why would they build?
Yeah,
their
it's like,
world
why has
around it?
all technology converged to gun?
Like a gun, and
Just
like
gun.
because then you have to think about it. You're like the slime people had gunpowder, I guess, or something to that effect.
I mean,
and,
it
and
works
then they
if
kind of
you-
make the story around it, and it doesn't.
It
you know.
works if it's a tried and true method. Like, I think Dragon Age was very well done because they had, you got your sword wielders, you got your magic wielder. That's like classic fantasy type game.
Yeah.
And the mechanics and the story
And
worked well. And it's
yeah.
like, oh, cool, you can be a mage or you can just stab
Yeah.
things.
I guess like I guess the thing that we're getting at kind of is it's kind of like in an RPG if they're like here's a swordsman, here's a mage, they both can use guns.
But yeah.
What's up here? Ah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Pet peeves in games. Another pet peeve that I said before, when they give you the illusion of freedom, but you aren't actually free.
Okay, so that's actually something that my friends and I had a huge problem with Until Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Because like the game itself is amazing, but they keep on touting it. Touting it?
Tooting? No,
I
it's
don't-
touting.
Touting. I don't know.
It's
Whatever.
okay.
When you read the
It's one of
word,
the
you don't
words,
have to
yeah.
say it. It's kind of like when I made my friend really upset.
Like
when
chameleon. Chameleon.
or like,
Watch out.
oh, because my friend is a teacher, and he was really upset that I kept on saying a figgy instead of effigy because it sounds cuter. So I was like,
It's
a figgy,
adorable.
and he was just like, it's effigy, and I'm just like, no, it's a
I
figgy.
built this effigy
This effigy.
of you.
A figgy. So they had this thing where, oh god, they had this thing where they kept on saying, "Oh, all your choices matter and everything." In reality, though, it's just an illusion of choice. It doesn't really matter. But when you keep on parading it around as, "Oh, all your choices matter and stuff," and then it's kind of like an illusion of choice.
Yeah.
What
If we
am
wanna
I
get
doing?
into-
Oh my god!
You light yourself on fire.
No! Oh no!
Dude, you're
Oh
gonna
god!
die.
Yeah, I am gonna die. Yeah.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I can't.
the dilemma of thinking that you're free but you're not actually free. Like isn't that like the central
Existential.
Yeah, that's a central tenet of like existentialism and nihilism and all that. But like what you're saying, so Walking Dead, like the Telltale game,
Yeah.
was one of those where like choices really didn't matter.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
God bless their
Telltale.
souls. Yeah.
I loved the Fables game, the Wolf Among Us.
Wolf
Yeah,
Among Us.
that was good because I feel like it did have.
Big B. God
We
damn.
know I love that game,
That is-
but it did feel like the ending, the choices made the ending different, or at least it made like critical changes
Right.
to the story. For The Walking Dead, it was basically you would kind of choose who your companions were for the duration of that chapter,
Yeah.
and then whoever you chose to survive would die anyway, because like
Yeah.
you don't want to pay that person to do dialogue for like the whole rest of the game if half your gamers aren't going to hear them, which is
Yeah.
crazy because BioWare actually, like, you could kill off all your teammates in Mass Effect 2 and they had to bring in all new voice actors for replacement characters.
Wow.
So it's like they doubled up, and it's like I get why Telltale didn't do that, because they were like a small studio. BioWare
Right.
could, so they were able to just like yep, Morden's dead, so now we have this other Solarian with a completely different voice for all of Mass Effect 3.
That's
right?
insane. Yeah.
Meaningless choices.
Yeah.
It's like I think they call it like Chekhov's gun, because in one of his plays or something, this random gun ended up being like super important in the end, and like he didn't really realize it. Like, I don't like that.
I think it's kind of cheap.
It is. It's like your gamers should have some kind of indication that something's important or not, whether it be like a moral choice. It's like, do you want to kill this person or not? Like, and then they may or may not help you later or hurt you later. Right.
Well, I think because Chekhov's gun breaks the immersion, because you're just like, oh, I guess it didn't matter. It's just a game. Like,
yeah,
you know, they don't really care. Whoa. Okay.
I always wanted to eat those cakes.
It looks good.
It looks really good.
Oh, you know what cake that I always wanted to eat? You know Matilda? When she forces the fat kid to eat the chocolate cake? That cake looks so good.
Yeah.
And then when the old lady's like, I made it with my sweat and blood, and I'm just like, give me that cake. Old lady, give me that.
Give me the fucking
If you suck
cake.
this up, did you become like death?
Death?
Yeah.
Your power is
Destroyer
death.
of world.
So double fire was like all that speedrunners used.
Why?
Let me show you why.
Oh, wow. Are you like a phoenix? Jesus.
Yeah, so this is why.
Wow,
but then people switch to single fire because you have more control over it, because you can't break out of it.
I get it. I think those are lion ants, or that's what they're referencing.
Oh.
Yeah, lion ants. They make little pits. They walk backwards, and they make a spiral, and then they have huge jaws too, and then they wait in the bottom, and then stuff will fall into the sand pit, and it just like eats it. That's exactly what it is. It has the jaws are like, I think, 2 times as big as the body or something.
Huh.
Like evolution was just like, you need jaws, and that is your job. Oh no! What are you supposed to do? Oh, wow, that was good.
Okay, so I'm like button mashing.
You gotta
to get back up here.
Gotta get it.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Big bones.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Why does she help
day.
you?
Look at the witch in the background. Life goals.
What is that? Bless you. Bless you.
Kirby 64 is basically the Dark Souls of the Kirby franchise.
No.
That doesn't have any powers either.
Yeah, I never knew. It's like the Easter Island heads.
What? See, this whole ship is unexplained.
Time to get probed.
Like Kirby, why are you going there? Kirby, what is this? Where did this come from? How does this relate to dark matter? We don't know.
Is it
There's
ever
no lore.
explained?
No.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know. Something about like choices and Foucault and the
and then we
stranger.
talked about the illusion of choice, and then also Monicius and Daisha's plan.
Yeah, what other like deep philosophical concepts can we touch upon?
I also love the friendship that he has with Bayonetta. That is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. It's so cute. He's like, Polio.
It makes sense too, like, because Bayonetta is so chill. Like,
She's so chill.
Nothing really bothers her. Like,
I like how she's posing and she's like, "You're a funny lad," and then like, and he's like, "Polio," and she's like, "Oh, tell me another joke." And
I like how
marvelous.
Yeah, this is comic. I like how she's like core blimey, and I'm like, she's literally never said that.
Yeah,
but I accept it.
Yeah. Oh, am I on the pole? Oh.
Kirby pole dance.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is hot.
Speaking of vor.
Oh. Okay.
I was listening to Into the Woods. I know you don't care for musicals, so I have to make up for the musical knowledge for both of us.
Well,
because you've shirked your culture. I was like, oh, the big bad wolf, like swallowing Granny and swallowing Red Riding Hood. And then there was another thing. What else was it? Oh, it's like, it's sort of implied that Jack, after he climbs the beanstalk, like, something happens between him and the giantess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as we know, like, knowledge and knowing things is like a metaphor for sex, right? Like in ye olden days, right? And Sondheim was very conscious. He was very conscious of that, and like fairy tale. Like, oh my god, I took a class on fairy tales, and I was listening to Into the Woods again. I'm like, holy shit, like it goes deeper, right? So, but it's implied that like something happens between them, and I'm like, wow, that's macro, right?
Does he climb in her vagina?
It dates back even further to Gulliver's Travels, because he goes to the island of Lilliput, and then the island where they're all.
You were ruining all the hard work.
I'm sorry. So he goes to the place where like the people are really tiny. Then he goes to a place where they're really giant, and the women like use him. Like that's a thing that happens
when he gets tied down.
No. He goes to a place where people are giant, and the women use him.
As what, a dildo? And you know what I really love? I love how people always pretend back then that people weren't raunchy. No. Everything was wrong.
Everyone was like,
this is human nature. Romeo and Juliet.
Man.
You know what Romeo was crying about? Not getting laid in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, I'm a virgin. I'm an incel.
It was literally a 3-day fling that left 6 people dead.
Yeah.
Or 7. I don't remember. But a lot of people died for for an inconsequential like need to get off.
But isn't that human history in a nutshell? Isn't that what happened with like...
I think Shakespeare was trying to point out the folly of youth or whatever, because he was a bitter old man. Oh no, poor thing.
He's gonna eat them. And they're like, what the fuck is up with him?
That'd be hilarious if they just kept on walking.
Look how nice they are. Oh, I want that cake. Like, it looks so good.
They're so, like, oh, is she making the food? Dude.
She has god level power.
That's a god level power. What is this little fairy thing? What does she do?
So her home got taken over by dark matter, and their protective crystal got shattered, so that's why you're collecting the crystal shards.
So she's just like, yo, can you help me? And then you're like,
Kirby's like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, whatever.
He's not doing anything.
As long as there's food.